host, Chris here. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Hope you're having a great day. So this is a review of Grandfather Trail up to McCrae Peak, which is considered one of the most beautiful views in the Appalachian Mountain Range. It starts in Grandfather Mountain Park, which is separate from the state park, and it actually starts in the lower parking lot. You'll have to take this connector trail up, which takes you underneath the swinging bridge in order to get to the main parking lot, which is reserved for people who are not hiking. Now, you're treated to some beautiful views along this trail. Until you get to the main parking lot right here, you'll have to sign a hiking permit to let people know you're on the trail. And you're immediately hit with some, pretty strenuous inclines. And here, the trail you can see off to the right is clearly marked. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to believe that's the actual trail because it is quite steep at some points. The first landmark is the patio view of McCrae Peak to let you know where you're going. So you're heading right up there. And after that, the trail starts to get interesting, with your first cable actually being one to help you on your way back up this steep section. Now, you are given some landmarks there to let you know how far you've gone. And again, beautiful views all along the way. Your second landmark is going to be Grandfather Gap, and this is when the trail really starts to get more strenuous and steeper. You have two ways to get to the peak. I recommend Grandfather Trail if it's your first time. Now, this is the first cable that you'll really need to use in order to get up this steep section. And then right after this, you'll get to your first ladder, again, helping you get up this steep incline. Your second ladder is really interesting on Grandfather Trail. You have to go through this crevice here and into a little cave before heading up. I thought this was a pretty cool experience, but definitely making it a more strenuous trail. Now, after your second ladder, you're going to come to your second cable. Again, make sure to use all cables and ladders carefully and definitely use them. After that, you're heading up into different biomes, and I thought it smelled really fresh and sweet up in this environment. You actually go through 6 to 7 biomes depending on where you start the trail, and you can see how steep it is, so the ladders are definitely needed. Some ladders, are a little treacherous, like this one with a drop off to the left. But as you climb, you'll enter different biomes. And at this point, when you go through, 6 or 7 ladders, you'll have some beautiful views, and you will, be exposed to a little bit more wind. So keep that in mind. Your last little leg here is a ridge line before you get to your last ladder. And there's about 10 ladders on the Grandfather Trail. And then this ladder will lead you up to the knob itself, where you'll get a 360-degree view. You'll see I had to turn my hat backwards because it was too windy, otherwise it would have blown off my head. And as always, pictures cannot do this view justice. You can just see forever. It's absolutely gorgeous. This was in late April, early May. That's that final ridge looking back. Of course, there's the actual landmark there, which I always think is cool. And just wonderful treat. Again, 360-degree view. This is looking east, and then the other side, of course, behind me is west, and you can look all the way around. Now, coming back is its own struggle, because as easy as it was to get up these ladders, it's a little trickier to get down. So definitely make sure to take your time. You have a couple different ways to get back to that lower parking lot. And of course, this took me about 2 hours. I went up about 1,000 feet, and it was definitely a good hike. And even my Jeep enjoyed a great view. Now, after you're done the trail, I do recommend taking a look at the Wilson Center. You'll hear, and find a lot more information about Grandfather Mountain. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. I hope you found that useful. I'd be honored with your subscription. Semper Paratus, and Costa Chris out.